Hello and welcome to Precon Decon, the video series where I deconstruct the pre-constructed decks of Magic the Gathering's history. In this video we're going to look at the last intro pack from Magic 2012, which is Sacred Assault, which is a green and white deck. So let's dive in and start looking at that one. So deck list here, we've got 25 creatures, 10 enchantments, a single instant and 24 lands. So yeah, kind of classic green-white kind of aura strategy. Doesn't feel like too long ago we looked at Totem Power all the way back in Rise of the Eldrazi. This, I promise, does it a lot better than that deck did. Let's dive in and start looking at it. So, the foil face rare is Aegis Angel. So 4 and 2 white for a 5/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, another target permanent is indestructible as long as you control Aegis Angel. So this is just a really solid, like, fun rare. Like, it's not, I guess, it's not crazy overpowered, but it is like a really fun, flashy effect that I think a new player would really like. This angel. I mean, it's a big 5/5 flyer anyway, which for 6 is good anyway, but it comes in and then it just protects another creature, or like maybe an aura or something. Don't know why you wouldn't just protect the creature the aura's on, but yeah, never know. This is, I think, just really just solid. I can't think of anything really bad about it, really. You have 2 Alabaster Mages, so 1 and a white for a 2/1, and you can pay 1 and a white to give a creature you control lifelink until end of turn. So this is pretty fun. This is the white member of the cycle of mages that we've had in M12, like the Lantern Mages, or with their creeds and stuff, like Green Lantern from DC. This one is perfectly fine. Giving lifelink is a pretty good ability. Not much really to say about it, and it's quite cheap to do it as well. So yeah. 2 Elite Vanguard, just 1 white mana for a 2/1. Yep. just very straightforward, fine. So I know I said this deck has an aura theme, but what if I told you that it's also really, really into Griffins? Like, it really likes Griffins. So when I was looking at the Mystical Might deck, the one before this, which was the blue-white one, I said, like, oh yeah, there's like a small illusion theme in the set, and I had completely forgotten there is a much bigger, weirdly, like a Griffin theme. It's not this, not to the point there's like a Griffin Lord or anything, but yeah, there's just a lot of Griffins, which I always feel as a creature type never get enough respect. They're essentially the white version of Drakes, aren't they? In that they're usually mid-sized flyers, and they're never really that impressed. They're usually at common and uncommon, just to kind of bulk out sets and stuff. It's no one really ever gets excited about Griffins, but I think they're cool. So we have 3 Assault Griffins, which is just 3 white for a 3/2 flyer. We have 2 Griffin Sentinels, which is 2 and a white for a 1/3 flying and vigilance, and we have 2 Peregrine Griffins, which is 4 and a white for a 2/4 with flying and first strike. So a bunch of Griffins. And it's just weird that M12 has so many Griffins. But what's even weirder is there's a Griffin payoff, Griffin Rider. So 1 and a white for a 1/1. As long as you control a Griffin, Griffin Rider gets +3/+3 and has flying. So the payoff is like a 4/4 flyer for only 2 mana, it's just such a weird sub-theme to have in the set, like this kind of just a bunch of Griffins and then another creature that cares specifically about Griffins. I mean, it's really cool. I really like it. I really like these kind of I guess what would you call them, like rider style creatures, where I'm trying to think of another one. The only one I can think of is Cloudreach Cavalry, all the way back in Legions, which was a soldier, which got like +2/+2 if you controlled a bird. I just really like creatures like that, where it obviously represents like the rider, and if you have like the creature that is their mount, then they get like power toughness boost, maybe another keyword. So I just think it's really just fun design. I was going to say it's not that good, but I think it's all right, actually. See what you got. How many Griffins? You got 7 Griffins, and then 2 of these. So, the fact this could be potentially a 4/4 flyer for only 2 mana, I think is worth consideration. I think it's pretty fun. So moving on from the Griffins, also just a lot of flyers actually in the deck. Thinking about it, because you got the Aegis Angel, and you got 7 Griffins, and then you got the Griffin Rider who can become a flyer as well. So you've actually got like quite a lot of stuff going on in the air, which is pretty good. So yeah, then we have 2 Cudgel Trolls, just 2 and 2 green for 4/3 with regenerate for a single green mana, which is just really solid. Really like Cudgel Troll, just a really decent mid-range creature, which can block really well, and just you can swing at it. You don't have to worry about it too much because only a single green mana to regenerate it. A single Jade Mage. So I think this is the only M12 deck that has both its mages in it, which is I don't know, notable, I suppose. But yeah, Jade Mage, 1 and a green for a 2/1. You can pay 2 and a green to make a Saproling, which is good. Always good just to poop out more creatures. If you've got the mana to spare, why not? So the other rare of the deck is Mesa Enchantress. So 1 and 2 white for a 0/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. So this is just a white color shifted version of Verdant Enchantress. I think this was originally printed in Planar Chaos, I think. Yeah, because it was represented as a color shifted one there. So I'm going to be a bit controversial. I think this effect makes more sense in white than it does in green. I know green obviously has a relationship with enchantments as well, but I think white does it better. Yeah, so I think this effect makes more sense in white personally than I know enchantresses are kind of iconic in the game's history, but I've always thought they belong in white more. And then 2 Auramancers, 2 and a white for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. This is pretty good because, as we're going to see in a minute, you've got like a load of auras in this deck. So, when the creature on there and dies, they fall off, and then you can use this to get them back. And we've also got a single Glade Cover Scout, so 1 green mana for a 1/1 with Hexproof. So this is like a really good target for all the auras you've got in the deck. You just load it up and then just swing with it, and like your opponent just can't touch it. So it prevents you getting kind of like 2 for 1 or even potentially 3 for 1, depending how many auras you're going to throw on this creature. Yeah, I think this creature, from what I remember, was used in there's a deck archetype. I think maybe in Pauper. It might have gone higher than Pauper, which is called Bogles, which uses like cheap hexproof creatures like this and Slippery Bogle. You just load them up with auras and then just like swing, and there's just very little your opponent can do. So yeah, there we go. We also have 2 Sacred Wolf, which is 2 and a green for a 3/1 hexproof. So there we go, slightly bigger Glade Cover Scout, I suppose. We also have 2 Thran Golem. Now this is really exciting. This got downshifted because it was originally rare, and I think it's right at uncommon because it becomes really good when it's enchanted. So it's 5 mana for a 3/3, and if it's enchanted, it gets +2/+2, has flying, first strike, and trample. So it becomes like a really big threat. But you do have to jump through the hoop to get it, and I think it's fair to make that uncommon because I say you got to work at it to give it this bonus. But yeah, really exciting. This was down to uncommon. I think it's just really good, and obviously fits in super well in this deck because it's all about auras. So then moving on to said auras, we have 2 Divine Favor, so 1 and a white. When it ends the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Enchanted creature gets +1/+3. So yeah, this is just fine. Just makes the creature slightly more tanky, and it's a bit of life gain. It's okay. It's definitely not the best aura you've got in the deck. Single lifelink just gives a creature lifelink. Possibly a little redundant just because you've got the Alabaster Mage, but then also this helps switch on Thran Golem, I suppose. So it's okay, but it does feel a little redundant, I say, just because you do have the Alabaster Mage. 2 Spirit Mantle. This is the money here though. So 1 and a white. Aura goes on a creature. Enchanted creature it has +1/+1 and protection from creatures. So it can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage by creatures. Protection from creatures is pretty good. Because it just makes obviously your creature completely unblockable. Other creatures can't target their abilities. It can't be dealt damage. It can serve as just a really good blocker because it can just stand in the way and it won't take any damage. This is really good. Really glad there's actually 2 of these as well. You put this on the Sacred Wolf or the Glade Cover Scout. Having hexproof and protection from creatures is going to be like an absolute nightmare for an opponent to deal with. On Thran Golem as well, this would make it an absolute nightmare. Really, really good. Really like Spirit Mantle. And it gives me nice flashbacks actually to Odyssey block, I guess it was, like Beloved Chaplain and Commander Isha and Unquestioned Authority, like I think those cards, which all gave protection from creatures, which was, at the time was really, really special because it hadn't been done before. Single troll hide, 2 and a green, gives the enchanted creature +2/+2 and regeneration. This is okay. This is fine. The +2/+2 is obviously welcome. It's cheapish regeneration. Yeah, this is okay. A single lure effect. Lure effect. It's just lure, which gives a lure effect. Yeah, 1 and 2 green. All creatures able to block the enchanted creature do so. Yep, you whack it on, I know, a sapling that maybe Jade Mage poops out, or you put it on Cudgel Troll, who can then regenerate. Swing with it. All your opponent's creatures block that. Everything else gets through absolutely fine. Although I said, you've got a lot of stuff with flying, so I'm not sure if lure was really necessary. And then we have 3 pacifisms. So these are auras that you obviously don't want to put on your own creature. They go on opponent's creatures, obviously. So I do like pacifism being in here because this is kind of the closest the deck gets to removal, because you've got a naturalize, which is just artifact enchantment. Pacifism is really like your only removal option. You haven't really got anything else. So yeah, the deck needs something, and it's that, unfortunately. But it's just the auras. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it still goes well with Mesa Enchantress and Auramancer and stuff, so it's okay. These triple grack, and then a single naturalize, say, just for a bit of utility, and then 14 plains and 10 forests. So what could have been? So I do think it's all right, as far as like green-white aura matter decks go. Because I want to say we've had sort of a few in the past, but the only one I can think of is the pretty bad Rise the Eldrazi one. Yeah, and this is one they say is definitely better than that. I say just that Spirit Mantle is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and the Thran Golem as well. And also, I say, the unexpected Griffin sub-theme, which is really fun. I thought what could have been here is maybe you don't need as many creatures. The fact it's just kind of basically creatures and auras, I think, is not great. It could have, you could have had branched out a little bit, have a few more like instants or sorceries. Reclaim, I thought you could have maybe just like even 1 or 2 of these, just another way of getting auras back, or even creatures who've died. It's a good way of getting, say, back Thran Golems or Mesa Enchantress, something like that. Hunter's Insight, I thought could have been okay. Your creatures are buffed up with the auras. You cast this, they do damage, and you draw a bunch of cards. Maybe, I thought. And timely reinforcements, 2 and a white. If you have less life than the opponent, you gain 6 life, and if you control fewer creatures, you put 3 soldiers onto the battlefield. I thought maybe this, possibly, but I wasn't sure. I mean, you do have a lot of creatures in here, and you do have life gain options, so not really sure how, really, if timely reinforcement, if this is the right deck for timely reinforcements, I guess. I don't know, but that's just my thoughts. So overall, I do think it's pretty solid. Green White Auras is a pretty solid, standard theme to have for a core set deck, I suppose. It's doing an okay job. Obviously, it's really light on removal options, but it's green white anyway, so it's going to be trying to do things via combat anyway. But I say, like a lot of flies in this, and I do really appreciate that Griffin sub theme, like just out of nowhere. I'd completely forgotten about that, really, and I didn't remember it until obviously I started putting the video together. So overall, okay. Like kind of all the M12 decks have been, apart from the blue-black grab for power. I really liked that one. So that's all the M12 decks. If you've got any thoughts, comments, stories, opinions about this one, stick a comment below and I'll give that a read. But now in the next video, we're going to move on, and we're gonna start looking at Innistrad, which is a set that I have a lot to say about. Innistrad is I would hazard a guess. Say I don't think I'm being presumptuous when I say Innistrad is probably one of the like fan favorite blocks. It just does so much right, Innistrad. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun looking at those decks and talking about them. But yeah, that'll be the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Have a good day.